there are important unconscious processes in your brain that you're not aware of. Most of the time, the brain is a coordinated, well-oiled machine with different brain regions working together in harmony. But under certain circumstances, when things are out of sync, we can gain deeper insight into how the brain actually works.
Sleepwalking is a glitch in the system because our identity is not in control.
How is it possible to do complex behaviors like walking, eating, and sometimes even driving while sleeping? During sleep, your brain cycles through phases of high and low activity. When the brain waves slow down, scientists call this deep sleep. One part of the brain that doesn't wake up during sleepwalking is called the prefrontal cortex. It's the region of the brain responsible for deliberate choices and self-awareness.
This prefrontal cortex is the decision maker. The other areas of the brain can mostly work independently of that.
During sleepwalking, the motor cortex, which controls movement, the visual cortex, which processes visual information, and the parts of the brain that coordinate behaviors like balance and speech can all become active without engaging the prefrontal cortex.
Our unconscious makes a lot of everyday decisions for us.
For starters, boring stuff like regulating your heart rate and your temperature, deciding when to take the food in your stomach and move it down into your gut. Like, thank God we don't have to be aware of all that stuff.
Motor function, sensory function, motor sensory integration, memory representation, all of this is happening below the surface, like the inside of clockwork.
But there's one case where even those regions check out, during anesthesia.
The brain generates brain waves, or oscillations, and they're oscillations that we typically see when someone's conscious.
These brain waves are measured by their frequency, how fast the waves come and go, and by their amplitude, how small or big the waves are. When you're awake and fully aware, your brainwave activity is diverse and dynamic. It looks kind of like an exciting conversation. But when anesthesia drugs hit the brain, the activity is dramatically reduced to dull, slow rolling brainwaves.
So that's what the drugs are doing. They're altering the way the various parts of the brain communicate.
There's one region of the brain in particular that acts as a communication hub, the thalamus. It's made up of two parts, each about the size of a walnut, and sits deep inside your brain.
Thalamus is a central way station for all sorts of information processing. Auditory information goes through there, visual information goes through there, pain information goes through there. If I could take out just one brain center to make you unconscious, it would probably be the thalamus, because it's such a central actor in processing all types of information.
So the level of communication among brain regions is one difference between being conscious and being unconscious. That means that no single area of the brain is responsible for your consciousness.